When you don't answer questions, there's something to hide.
No, Madam Supervisor, we are not brainwashed. We are fed up.
Last year, a Fox 32 investigation showed how that detail is taking officers off the street and costing taxpayers thousands of dollars in overtime.
Wrong is wrong, and there's a time to hold people responsible and accountable for their actions.
In the last few months, Tiffany Henyard has transformed from the most notorious mayor to practically a ghost. And boy, the drama doesn't stop there. Rumor has it she's pulled a full Houdini, going underground to cover her tracks. But let's be real, how long can she really hide before the feds sniff her out? It seems like her reign of chaos is finally crumbling, and honestly, we're all just grabbing the popcorn for this show. Is she on the run, or is she laying low to dodge the heat? One thing's for sure, Tiffany's got some explaining to do, and we are all eagerly waiting for the grand finale. So let's get into it. It's safe to say that the people of Dalton have had just about enough of Tiffany Henyard. And guess what? It looks like the Board of Trustees has finally caught on and decided to give her a taste of her own medicine. Tiffany's made it clear time and time again that she only listens to one opinion, her own. So when she called for a town meeting the other day, not a single soul from the board bothered to show up.
Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard wanted the Board of Trustees to approve some events that she wants the township to pay for, but none of the trustees showed up for this special meeting tonight.
But Tiffany, being as shamelessly resilient as ever, didn't let the snub get under her skin. Oh no, she took to the stage and spun it into her own little soap opera, claiming this whole corruption mess is just a grand propaganda stunt to tarnish her oh-so-glorious reign. This is me making my statement. If you guys do not want to hear this, there's the door. This is not a Q&A. This is me giving my statement so the residents know what's going on in Thornton Township. However, since the townspeople are so over and done with Tiffany's wordplay, the attendants interrupted her rant by saying, "The residents already know you're stealing from them." But this did not dampen Tiffany's spirits one bit, and she carried on with her speech as if nothing had happened. That's what all the hate is about. Your super mayor became too powerful too quick. I'm so rare, I'm so unique, and that's why everybody's got problems all about control. But let's be real. Tiffany Henyard's woes aren't just about bad propaganda. They're about some seriously shady spending. Country folks are raising eyebrows over how she's been splurging township and Dalton funds when she's also playing mayor. This week, WGN investigators blew the lid off her little expense spree. After some legal wrangling to get those credit card records, they found that Henyard and her crew racked up a whopping $67,000 in travel expenses on Thornton Township's dime in just 5 months. And if you thought that was bad, hold on. Throw in what she billed to Dalton residents, and that number shoots past $100,000. Although these numbers are ridiculous, her excuse is much more over the top. She claimed she and her entourage were busy attending conferences. Yeah, sure, Tiffany. More like attending to your own diva fantasies. For months, Mayor Tiffany Henyard and her administration had played hide-and-seek with Dalton's spending records, while blatantly ignoring the state government's transparency laws. Despite Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul's office stepping in and ordering the village to cough up the documents, Tiffany and her cronies dug in their heels, refusing to budge. But their power play hit a wall when WGN's parent company took matters into their own hands, filing a lawsuit in Cook County Circuit Court. And guess what? The judge wasn't having any of Tiffany's games. They ordered Dalton to release pages upon pages of documents, exposing months' worth of credit card statements from July to November 2023. Those records revealed that Tiffany and her allies had been living it up with first-class flights, airline upgrades, fancy hotels, and even splurging on Uber Eats, all on the taxpayer's dime. Dalton trustee Tammy Brown, who is among a group of board members who publicly oppose Henyard, revealed that she had not seen the statements, despite numerous requests for copies. It looks like although the major players know the truth, Henyard's side is still trying to keep it from the townspeople, because they know it would cause an uproar. Brown said, "When you see things like this, it's just a punch in the gut. Henyard hid it from us, because we would definitely have questions." Last January, WGN Investigates blew the lid off Henyard and her crew's lavish spending, revealing over $67,000 charged to township credit cards for out-of-town travel in just 5 months of 2023. But wait, it gets juicier. A deep dive into Dalton's credit card statements unearthed an additional $33,920 charged to village taxpayers for those very same jet-setting trips to New York, Atlanta, Portland, and beyond. One of the biggest jaw-droppers was a 5-day spree in Austin, Texas in July 2023. Tiffany, her right-hand man Keith Freeman, and 3 township officials racked up a whopping $20,000 of Dalton taxpayer money. The receipts? Oh, just a casual $11,000 at the swanky Fairmont Austin Hotel, $389 on steaks at Ruth Chris, $503 on sports writing apparel, and even $413 at Walgreens. Seriously, nothing says essential governance like shopping sprees and steak dinners on the taxpayers tab. Anyway, the credit card charges include $24,778 at retailers such as Walmart and Target, $14,425 at Amazon, $5,009 at Uber Eats and local restaurants, and $3,491 for Henyard's personal photographer. The village also released records relating to Henyard's village vehicles. Copies of the 3 leases, allegedly signed by Henyard, show the luxury SUVs cost residents more than $374,000. I don't know about you, but Miss Henyard here was living like a princess. Well, when she was questioned about her spendings, she said,
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
Well, it turns out that Henyard had police goons on her payroll who would harass villagers if any of them decided to speak out. But now that she is fighting alone on the federal ground, her former assistant, Carmen Carlisle, decided to come forward as whistleblower. Today, I'm breaking my silence and speaking out against Thornton Township Supervisor and Mayor of Dalton, Tiffany Henyard, who I believe has engaged in unethical and predatory behavior throughout her tenure. For the past 2 years, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents, using her position to increase her influence, all while projecting a false image of success, funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton Township and the village of Dalton. I trusted the administration. I am standing up not just for myself, but for others who have been affected by what I see as Henyard's AB leadership. I believe there are many more victims who have been retaliated against, fired, or lied to by Henyard, but have yet to speak out. Carmen claimed that she has decided to come out of the woodwork because she wants Tiffany to be held accountable for her atrocities. My decision to come forward as a whistleblower reflects my commitment to transparency, fairness, and accountability within the township. I encourage other victims to come forward and speak out. We cannot allow this behavior to continue unchallenged. It is time for us to demand better for our township and stand together against those who misuse their power. As you could expect, Henyard ridiculed Carlisle's newfound bravery at the meeting, saying, I think I'm going to get you a new nickname, Lion Carlisle. I'm tired of everyone in here. There always has to be a show. Honestly, it's rather rich coming from Henyard, who is literally the embodiment of corruption nowadays. She even tried to put the blame of her spendings on Carmen, claiming that she should have spoken up before all this mess blew up. At the end of the day, you was on this board. We never talked about this, right? So you should have been putting this same energy in play when you weren't saying a word a year ago, some months ago. Really, though, someone needs to give Henyard a reality check. It seems that she still thinks she can come out of this scandal unscathed, which of course is a foolish misunderstanding. Well, they better catch her fast because she has already disappeared when Lori Lightfoot revealed that Tiffany had dragged Dalton into debt due to her excessive spendings. You see, the village of Dalton is now facing a financial crisis, with more than $3.5 million missing from its coffers, thanks to Mayor Tiffany Henyard's alleged misuse of village funds. Leading the investigation is none other than former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who agreed back in April to dive into the murky waters of Dalton's finances. Interestingly, Lightfoot is a former federal prosecutor, and with the feds sniffing Henyard's shady business, things are bound to come to light. During a special village meeting packed with concerned residents, Lightfoot laid out the shocking findings. While the crowd gasped as they learned just how dire the situation was, she said, "We've worked very, very diligently, very hard, under difficult circumstances, to get as much information as we could to share with you. Her investigation of the village's financial records revealed that as of May 31, 2024, the Dolton Village General Fund was in red by a staggering $3.65 million. It was clear, without proper check, Henyard and her administration had thrown any semblance of checks and balances out the window, leaving the community in financial turmoil. You see, this federal investigation kick-started when the Board of Trustees in Dolton approved a resolution to ask for a federal investigation into Mayor Tiffany Henyard's corruption. 4 of Mayor Henyard's 6 colleagues on the Dolton Village Board attended a meeting and celebrated after the resolution passed. One of the trustees, Kiana Belcher, said, "There's a lot of mismanagement of funds, and we just want some clarity so we can move forward and understand what's going on with all the spending." Bert Oldelson, legislative counsel for the Dolton Board of Trustees, added, "It's a deadly sin that you could have lost 6 of your police cars. And when you lose police cars, you lose police officers too." But she chose to keep her payments on her security detail. In addition to that, recently, Trustee Chris Gonzalez suggested a strategy to limit Tiffany's spendings going forward. He said, "If the administration can't adhere to some financial limits, we're not looking to necessarily cut stuff out. However, if you're going to make a decision to do things that benefit the administration rather than help the people, that's your decision." When that ordinance passed, Henyard's township services abruptly ground to a halt, and as you could expect, she had a really dramatic reaction to the decision. They were not able to get services, products, gift cards for Big Bingo. Monday, this town was not even able to buy ice cream for the seniors. They had an ice cream social held at Calumet City. They could not buy ice cream. Tiffany Henyard's empire is on the brink of collapse, and the latest blow comes from her once loyal ally, Louis A. Lacey. The former Dolton deputy police chief isn't just in hot water, he's practically boiling. He is being slapped with a 9-count federal indictment. Lacey's been charged with everything from bankruptcy fraud to making false statements and perjury. The former deputy chief of police of Dolton, Illinois, is accused of concealing assets and income to avoid paying creditors and settling a lawsuit, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Northern District of Illinois. You'd think he was auditioning for a role in a crime drama, but this is all too real. The feds say Lacey went to great lengths to hide his money, lying about his income, and even pretending to be separated from his spouse. And lo and behold, Henyard was watching his back through all of this. Not to mention, Lacey has been an outspoken supporter of the embattled Henyard, who has been dogged in scandal for months after being accused of misdeeds ranging from weaponizing police raids to spending taxpayer money on luxuries in Las Vegas.
This is the second close ally of Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard to be indicted on federal bankruptcy fraud. And the lawyer tonight for Deputy Chief Louis Lacey tells me this is all part of prosecutors' strategy to get them to turn.
It seems like Lacey's lawyer is trying to spin this mess as some kind of elaborate scheme to bring Henyard down. But come on, when you're buried this deep in your own dirt, the whole "I'm a victim" act just doesn't fly. Gal Pazetsky, Lacey's lawyer, insists his client is innocent and claims the feds are only targeting Lacey to build a case against Henyard. But let's not kid ourselves. Lacey is staring down the barrel of up to 45 years in prison if convicted. And as the walls start closing in, Henyard's reign, once so seemingly untouchable, is looking more like a fragile house of cards, ready to collapse. The indictment paints a damning picture. Lacey filed for bankruptcy in 2019, right after a plaintiff tried to enforce a settlement agreement, accusing him of still owing $43,000 of a $55,000 settlement. Not learning his lesson, he filed another bankruptcy petition in 2020. Adding to the charges, Lacey didn't just bend the truth, he shattered it, making false claims and hiding crucial information in his bankruptcy cases. Lacey's web of deceit even extended to lying about being separated from his spouse, denying that she lived with him or contributed to his income and mortgage. Anyway, major signs of Tiffany's incompetence started emerging at the annual meeting. A 23-year-old South Holland resident encouraged township leaders to foster civic engagement by taking good faith actions, including making information readily available. You say you want us to be civically engaged. You say that you want us to be showing up and present in these meetings. But from my first meeting at Thornton Township, it seems like there's actions being taken that are a detriment of the citizens of this township. Another resident, Gardis Watts, responded to comments Tiffany Henyard had made about the voters' choice to vote down a mental health referendum that would have raised taxes in Thornton Township. We're not brainwashed. We're fed up. Nobody said that we didn't think mental health was important. We just don't trust you to fix it. Maybe that's why Tiffany didn't want the residents to have a say in her decisions, because she made decisions for herself, not for the people. You better believe the residents called her out on that. This is not attacking you as a black woman. I've always been held accountable for my performance, my results, and I expect the same of you. Henyard's administration has become synonymous with controversy, and the courtroom drama surrounding her would rival any primetime legal show. From claims of wrongful termination by former employees to accusations of favoritism and unfair business practices. One particularly scandalous lawsuit names Henyard alongside Dolton Village trustee Andrew Holmes, filed by a Dolton police officer who served on Henyard's security detail and a former staffer. It doesn't stop there. Another legal battle alleges that Dolton officials gave a local barbershop owner the runaround, improperly denying him a business license in what seems like a classic case of small-town power play. Then there's the explosive case filed by Dwayne Thrash, a former maintenance manager in Dolton. According to Thrash, one of Henyard's close associates approached him in 2023 with a suspicious plan to replace the school board's attorney with a firm favored by Henyard's inner circle. When Thrash refused to participate in the scheme, things went south fast. The lawsuit claims that while Thrash was on an approved vacation, he was abruptly fired under flimsy accusations of unsatisfactory work performance and insubordination. Ever since Henyard became mayor of the village of Dolton and supervisor of Thornton Township, she and her closest allies within the village of Dolton and Thornton Township, including Freeman, have terminated the employment of several individuals they feel pose a political threat to Henyard and her public image, and or who run afoul of Henyard and or Freeman by defying their wishes. With all these lawsuits and the revelations of the federal probe, things are not looking good for Henyard. The word on the street is that Tiffany might be looking for a back door to vanish into thin air. If the recent events are any indication, Tiffany would have to face the brunt of her actions. Fans believe that Tiffany has become a threat to the village. The only threat in that room was the mayor herself, so resigning alone is not enough. She needs to be arrested, prosecuted, and thrown in prison with the rest of her administration. She's a disgrace to the people of Dolton and America. That's all for today. If you liked that video, be sure to like, subscribe for more videos just like this.